Hello everybody, happy Friday. It's Juliet here. And today we are going to be learning how to make this four petaled flower. So it is a little bit three-dimensional, as you can see here. Well, hopefully you can see that. And it is really cute, and it would make either a great pair of earrings. I mean, it's not that big. Or you could put several of them together, you know, on a necklace or something like that. So you have options as to what you want to do with it. This is the bag. And I am using supplies out of the Violet Meadow treasure box from Potomac Beads for this, which is our April treasure box, but you may very well have most of these materials on hand anyway. So it doesn't take a lot of materials. What we'll be using today, I'm using out of the treasure box, I'm using my little selection of Azuki seed beads. These are just 11/0 rounds, okay? So for this one, I use this like lavender. I'm going to turn it over. I think it's a little easier for you to see the color. I use this lavender color, and then I use the bright pink for this one, okay? But for the one I'm going to be making today, I'm going to use this bright purple and the white. So yeah, if you have this is available on their website. They have several different collections of various different colorways, by the way. So, and they're really quite affordable. So, you know, if you're looking to just buy some seed beads, these are pretty good. I mean, you might have to cull a few. They're not as good as, say, Miyuki, but overall, they're very good beads, okay? And then I have 4 RounDuos, which are 2-hole beads. These came in our box. They're Turquoise Picasso, but there are tons of different colors on the website. In fact, actually in our box, we also had our free gift, so you could use some of those. But I'm using the Turquoise Picasso. Then I have some 3mm crystal rounds here. Again, these came in our box. These are the Amethyst AB, and those are also available on the Potomac website in various colors, okay? So you don't have to stick to the purples if you don't want to. And then I am using some Crystal Rose Montees, and these came in our box. These are Colorshift Sphinx. These are the SS20, so they're bigger than the SS16 size. That's the size you want, SS20, okay? And these are so pretty because depending on how the light hits them, they change color. That's why they're called Colorshift. The color is called Sphinx, okay? But I'll put links for everything down below. And then I'm just using some Dragonthread, but you can use any beading thread that you prefer. I like the size 6 Dragonthread, so I'm using that today. And you're going to need about 4 feet of that. And this is available from Potomac as well, okay? All right, so go ahead and thread up your needle. I'm just using a size 10 needle today. You're going to want to leave about a 6-inch tail because at the end you do have to work your way out from inside the flower. So go ahead and put your finger where your tail is going to end, okay? And you're going to pick up your 4 RounDuos, and it doesn't matter which hole you go through for this because they will turn to face the correct way just by gravity, okay? So go ahead and push those down to where you are marking your tail, and then you're going to sew through all 4 of the same hole again. So make sure that you're sewing through the hole that already has the thread in it from where your tail is to the working side, and that is going to form a circle, okay? And then to close that circle up, we have to go through that very first hole one more time. Okay, so now you should have something that looks like this. And we're not going to tie a knot or anything because these will need to move slightly apart, okay? So you're going to pick up your Montee, okay? And your Montee has a cross on the back, so we can cross with it, okay? So I'm coming out this top bead on the right hand side. I'm going to enter into what I'm calling the bottom bead on the left hand side, okay? And that is going to place our Montee. And you want to make sure that it is flipped so that it is the right way up. There we go. Okay, and once you have done that, we're coming out at the lower left-hand side. So we're going to cross through the Montee the other direction. So go ahead and sew through. Make sure you actually are going through the Montee and you're not just passing underneath it, okay? So go ahead and sew through that Montee, and then again, where your thread is coming out, that's where you're going to go in on the upper left-hand side. So it's the bead where your thread is coming out, okay? So we've done a little crisscross. So now our Montee is sitting on top of our round duos like this, okay? So now we're going to move. You're just going to turn, and I'm coming out the right-hand side of this bead at the top, and I'm just going to turn and move into the outer hole, okay? So now I'm coming out the outer hole. I'm going to pick up one of my 3mm rounds, and I'm going to pass into the next hole on the next round duo. And I'm going to do that 4 times, so 3 more times, obviously. Okay, so we should now have this. Okay, from here, you're going to pick up one of your, whatever your darker inside color on your flower is going to be. Okay, so pick up one of those, one of your crystals, and one more. So a seed bead, a crystal, a seed bead. You're going to pass through that round round duo. Sorry, I don't know what is wrong with me today. Okay, and then you're going to pick up another seed bead, and you're going to pass through the crystal that's in between the round duos, okay? Pick up another seed bead, pass through the round duo, and then you're going to pick up seed bead, crystal, seed bead, and you're going to pass through that round duo again. Okay. Then you're going to pick up a seed bead, go through the next crystal, and don't worry if it's a little bit crowded or wavy at this point. We'll sort that out in a second. Okay, pick up another seed bead, go into the next round duo, then seed bead, crystal, seed bead, into the next round duo, or the same round duo, sorry, and pick up a seed bead, go into the crystal, pick up a seed bead, go into the round duo, pick up a seed bead, a crystal, a seed bead, and go into the round duo. Pick up a seed bead, go into the next crystal, And then we have one more seed bead to add right here. And go into the seed bead. And the crystal. Okay, so it should now look like this. And now we are going to reinforce by going around all the outside beads. So there should be 2 seed beads and then a middle crystal, 2 seed beads, and then a corner crystal. Okay, so just pass through all of those beads just to tie them all together, because right now they are not all joined together. Okay, so just pass through all of those. Okay, and when you finish, you should be coming out from a corner crystal. So I went ahead and did all 4 sides, okay? So now we're going to pick up one of our main color, one of our accent color, and one of our main color, okay? And you're going to pass into the next crystal, which is like the side crystal, okay? And they're just gonna sit on the edge like that, okay? Then you're gonna pick up 2 of your accent color, okay? You're going to pass through the middle of your Rose Montee, okay? So those beads are just sitting there like that. Then you're gonna pick up 2 more, and on this side, it came out the top, so I'm going to go into the top of the opposite crystal. I'm going to turn it this way so it's a little bit easier. So whatever side you came out from, go in that side on the other side. Okay. So now I have this. Then I'm going to pick up one of my accent color, and I'm going to go into back through the, I'm going to skip this seed bead and I'm going into the next seed bead, going back through my Montee and then back through the first seed bead on the other side as well. Okay, so you're going to go through those. And that's going to put a little triangle like this. Okay, that's what you want. And then you're going to pick up one more of your accent color, and you're going to continue working the same direction you were working through the next crystal, the crystal that's in the middle. Okay, so we have this. All right, then we're going to pick up a main color, an accent color, and a main color, and we're going through the corner crystal like this. Okay, again, pick up main color, accent, main, go through the next middle crystal here. And I think you could probably use bicones for these 3mm crystals if you don't have rounds. I don't see why it would cause a problem. So if you want to try, go ahead, okay? You're going to pick up, again, 2 of your main color. We're going to pass through the Montee, going through the middle, okay? And then you're going to pick up 2 more. And again, I'm going to flip it over just so it's easier because I came from this side, so I'm going into the same side on the opposite crystal that I came from. And then I'm going to pick up 1, and I'm going to skip that first seed bead. I'm going through the seed bead, the Montee, and the first seed bead on the other side. So I'm going through this one, and this one, okay? So I've got that little triangle, and don't worry if it's a little bit wonky, okay? And then go ahead and pick up one more. So I'm coming out that very first seed bead there, okay? And then I'm going through the crystal on the side in the direction that I am working. Okay, so now we have this, and we have to fill in the rest of this edge. So we're going to pick up our 3 seed beads, go into that middle. And then on these 2 sides, we're just going to fill in these seed beads on the sides because we've already done the middle crisscrossing bit, okay? So you're just going to pick up your seed bead, your accent, and you're just going to pass through that crystal without doing anything more, and then you can just pick up the next set of seed beads. So this bit's easier, okay? So go ahead and finish off this side and that side, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, I'm adding on my very last set, and I'm just popping into that crystal on the corner. So it should now look like this, okay? You're gonna move forward until you are exiting from the white bead. Okay, your accent bead right here, yeah. And then we are going to pick up 3 of our main color. So picking up 3 of your main color, you're gonna go up into this very first white bead that's closest to the white bead that you're coming out from, okay? Like this. And it's going to kind of raise up and sit a little bit above, okay? And then you're going to go down the next white bead right next to the one that you came out of, okay? You're going to pick up 3 of your main color. And you're going to sew into the first white bead on the next petal area, okay, which is this one right here. So go ahead and sew through that. And again, those are going to sit kind of up above a little bit, okay? See how they're sitting up. Then you're going to pick up a main color, an accent color, a main color, an accent color, and a main color. So 5 beads in total. So main, accent, main, accent, main. And you're going to skip all the way over into the next white bead right here. So we're just going to add a little loop like this going around that crystal right there, okay? So we're going from this white bead to that white bead with these 5 beads. Then you're going to pick up 3 of your main color. You're going to go up into that first white bead on the center area, pull, pick up 3 more. Oh, nope, sorry. Go down through the next white bead. Got to remember that step. And then pick up 3. And you're going to go into the next white bead, or whatever accent color bead you're using, okay? And make sure you pull these kind of tight, because what this it does is it kind of also pushes these middle beads up towards the center. So kind of pull quite tight, and it should kind of start to look ruffled, okay? Should look like it has some little ruffles on it. Okay, so now here we're picking up main color, accent color, main color, accent color, and main color. So 5 beads in total. Okay, we're hopping straight over into our next white bead over here. This. And you're going to repeat this for the next 2 petals. So you're going to be picking up 3, turn, pick up 3, add your 5, pick up 3, turn, and I'll come back to you here for that last little bit, okay? So go ahead and I'll do that off camera. Okay, so I'm about to add my last little group of 5 on my last petal here, and I'm going into that white bead just to put that end on that petal. Okay, and then we're going to move forward. So you're going to go up through those 4, so your 3 beads that are leading up to that central bit and the accent bead, and then you're going to turn and go down all of those beads again. So we're kind of reinforcing this area, okay? And then you're going to pass through your white bead. And go ahead and start pulling quite, make sure that you're not too slack here. Make sure you're kind of giving it a tug. It just helps to tighten up the lines if you're pulling a little bit tighter, okay? You're going to move forward through the purple bead. So from the white bead, go through the purple bead. You're going to pick up 2 of your white beads, and you're going to sew through the purple bead, the next white bead, and the next purple bead. Okay, so I picked up 2, and I'm going through this one, this one, this one. And these should sit like this, okay? You're going to, again, pick up 2. You're going to sew through the purple bead that you're coming out from, the next white bead, and the next purple bead. So you're sewing through purple, white, purple, okay? One more time, you're going to pick up 2. You're going to sew through purple and the white, and then you're going to continue on up through the center of your flower, okay? So just go ahead, go through those beads up to that second white bead. Ouch, okay, that kind of hurt. Pulling tight, and these are going to be a little bit loose and flappy at this stage, but we're going to tighten those down in a minute, okay? And then turn and go back down through all the purple beads there, okay? Again, kind of give it a nice little squeeze. Pass through the white bead and the next purple bead. So I'm coming out from my purple bead. I'm going to pick up 2 white beads. I'm going through the purple bead, the next white bead, and the next purple bead. Again, pick up 2 white beads, go through purple, white, purple. One more time, pick up 2, go through that purple bead, plus the next white bead, and then you can go over the top. So go ahead and do this for the next 2 petals, and then I'll come back to you. Okay, so I just added my 2, 2, 2 on the end of this petal, and I have sewn up through here and to get to the middle, okay? So now we're just going to do our very last round. So go ahead and sew through, back down the side of that petal through those purple beads, your main color beads, okay? Again, pulling nice and tight. And here you're going to want to pull quite tight on this round, okay? You're going to pick up 1 of your accent color. You're going to go through these 2 outer beads, first 2 outer beads right here, okay? You're going to go through the next bead of the pair in the middle. So there's 2 in the middle here. We're going through that very first one. Okay, and go, and when you pull, it's going to kind of fold up like this a little bit more. Sorry, just dropping everything here. What's happened? Yeah, when you pull, it's going to kind of pull everything inwards a little bit, okay? And then you're going to pick up one bead. So I'm coming out that first bead of that middle pair, okay? Then I'm going to go through the next bead and the next pair as well. Okay, so we're just adding a little point right there. And when you get through the second bead of the middle and the two on the outside, you're going to pick up one more of your accent color, and then you're just going to scoot straight on up the edge of that petal, okay? And when you give it a little tug, it's going to sit nice and pretty like this, okay? See how it's kind of cupping up a little bit? It's really pretty. It's like flat but cupped, okay? Okay, then you're going to scoot down the next side there. So we're basically adding 3 beads. We're adding one right after our main color here. So you're adding one, you're passing through the next pair and then the first bead of the middle pair. Okay, you're picking up number 2. So this is our second bead that we're adding in this round. You're going through the next 3 beads, so the second one of that pair plus the next 2. And then your third bead is the one that leads into, whoops, up into the side of the petal there, okay? Give it a tug, okay? So see how pretty that is? All right, I'm gonna go ahead, do the other 2, and then I'll show you how to finish off. Okay, so I just came up here from doing my last petal. Now, if you have enough thread, you can reinforce that edge again. But once you've done that, you're going to pass through the middle. So just get through the seed bead, the rose Montee, and the seed bead, okay? And you can kind of give it a tug. And once you pass through the middle, then you can tie off your thread in one of the petals. It doesn't matter if you go this way or that way, whichever way you want to go, okay? So I just kind of work my way down, tie a knot, work my way a bit further around. Pass through that middle. And then I'll tie another knot somewhere, okay? Just tie like 2 or 3 knots, it's fine. And then you can sew in that thread and cut it, okay? So I like to, once I've tied my knots, I like to just pass through the middle one more time because this is going the other direction, okay? I like to go through the middle and off into another petal on the other side. And then I cut my thread, okay? And on the back, it's a little bit trickier. What you have to do is you're coming out from one of your RounDuos, okay? Let me get my needle threaded really quickly. Okay, so we're coming out from an inside hole on our RounDuo. We're going to sew into the outside hole. So just skip around to the outside hole. Okay. And then what I do is I pass through the crystal. If you can get through it. If you can't, just work your way up till you get to this crystal and then work your way through some of the beads, tie some knots. Okay, so I'm gonna do that off camera just because like it's gonna be a little fiddly and take a little while. Okay, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I finished my flower, and I think these are just so cute. Like I like the muted one, but I like the bright one as well. I'm gonna have to make another of both of those because they're both really nice. So anyway, yeah, you can use these for whatever. Like I say, they are a good size for an earring, or you know, string some together on a necklace. You know, there's lots of different ways. Put them together on a bracelet. Lots of different ways to use them. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. I will see you guys in the next video, and be sure to go and check out Potomac Beads in the link down below. I'll put links for everything. They have so many great products, you guys. Like if you don't have the little Montees, they have tons of colors, so go check them out. Okay, all right, I will see you in the next video. Take care for now. Bye.